Hi, welcome back to Some Answer on Bass. I hope you're doing very well. Today I have the Mosky Audio Third Space multi-bass amp. So it's not really an amplifier, it is a preamp, kind of a modeling preamp. And the idea is that you plug this straight into your mixing desk for front of house and monitors or whatever. It does have two DI outputs on the back, so you could use those potentially for different purposes. Powered by 9-volt power supply. It has a lot of knobs. So it does have a lot of knobs on it, and it's kind of, this section here is your bass, mids. The mids are switchable between 1.5K, 400 Hertz and 900 Hertz, and your highs. There is a blend between the direct signal and the preamp, volume and a gain, and then we have a cabinet emulation, so you can blend that in as much as you like. And it also has cabinet resonance, which as far as I can work out, the higher that goes, the sort of thicker the sound gets. And it has a mic position knob. I suppose all the way to the right is closer to the center of the cone, so it's brighter, and all the way to the left is more towards the edge, so it's a little bit thicker sounding. Underneath that you have these switches, which are warm, modern and bright, and then you have choice of cabinet, 115, 8x10 sealed, 4x10 vented, and a parallel low pass filter switch, so you can have it off, or 500 Hertz or 100 Hertz sort of cut off. They're relatively cheap. They're about $80, I think. So I was curious to see how this works and how it sounds, because I'm a big fan of small things like this. I've been using the SansAmp preamp, the DI, for a long time. The advantage of that, and why I do use it quite a bit, is you can phantom power it from your desk. And that is a really, really good thing, because it gives you, it kind of gives you less cables. You don't have to worry about power supplies. But, I mean, it's a lot more expensive than this. So what I'll do, I'll just go through, I won't go through everything because it will take too long, but I'll leave the preamp and the cab blended all the way so you can just hear the effect of it. We'll go through the different cab settings on this with just some basic EQ and see what that sounds like. So let's try the 15-inch cab on the bright setting, and everything else pretty much full up, so it's the full cab emulation, full preamp, and just see what that sounds like. Now let's try that same thing again, but this time with the warm setting. Now let's try that again, same settings with a little bit more drive on the gain. Let's try the 8x10 cab on the modern setting and see what that gives us. And finally, let's try the 4x10 cab on the modern setting. So that's the Mosky Third Space multi-amp DI preamp box with speaker emulation built into it. It does have quite a lot of control, sometimes a little bit too much option anxiety on these things. It does have things like a passive active switch for the input. The output on the back, that jack output, can be switched as an output from the preamp or a through just from the jack, so you get just the signal of the bass out to something else, like your amplifier on stage, for example. There's a parallel output that can be switched in phase, and the DI output that has a ground lift, and on the opposite side you have parallel effect return and send, and preamp effects send and return, a volume knob for the phone jack here, and there's an auxiliary in, so you could put your music player on there and practice along quietly with your headphones if you wanted to use it that way. It sounds pretty good. I think it sounds, when you're playing it, to me it feels a little stiffer than, say, the Sans amp. The Sans amp seems a little bit more pliable in a way, a bit softer, a little bit more valvey, saggy sort of sound, I guess. But it sounds okay, and I think with the sounds that I went through today, you wouldn't have any trouble being heard in the mix. And of course, with the advent of in-ear monitors, ampless stages, all that stuff, and the cost of shipping things around the country, this will fit in your gig bag or your luggage easily. It's got a lot of functions, as I said. It's quite cheap. They're about $80 or something. So check them out at Mosky Audio and let me know what you think. If you already have one, let me know how you use it. And yeah, thanks for spending this time with me. Really do appreciate it. Stay well, be nice to each other, and keep making music. I'll catch you guys in the next video. It's bye for now.